Denise Gwen, reading aloud for you from my short story, The Greasy Spoon, Chapter 7. Nick pressed his back hard against the bullet-point leatherette seating, hoping to inflict additional pain upon himself because the bad feeling, the fear of something bad happening, had returned to him 10,000-fold. Ed glanced up idly, noticed them, but didn't recognize them. He sipped his coffee. Nick's body trembled. He wanted to run. His first impulse was to run. But he couldn't just up and run past them, or could he? What if he went to the men's restroom and hid? Wait and watch for the foursome to sit down, then bolt from the restaurant? He'd already ordered. He could pay and say he had no time. Oh, God, he wanted to run. He remained still and quiet and listened intently to what they were saying. They stood in the breezeway for a few moments, speaking to one another in low voices, then ambled over to a booth 2 rows down from where Nick and Ed sat. Nick watched it all happen in slow motion. Jeb Jr. glanced sidelong at him as he sauntered past, then climbed into the booth seat facing Nick, and the third farmer climbed in after him. Jeb got into the booth opposite, sitting across the table from his son and with his back to Nick, and the fourth farmer sat down next to Jeb. Jeb Jr. gazed unblinkingly into Nick's eyes. Nick stared him back, but the young man did not let up, and at last, Nick looked away. His first mistake. The farmers sat quietly and spoke in low voices. Irene approached the table with a coffee pot and, without asking, turned the coffee cups over onto each saucer and poured each man a stream of hot coffee. She eased over to Nick and Ed's table. "They're planning to kill you," she said. "Oh my God," Nick said. "What'd you just say?" "Will you calm down?" Ed said, holding up his coffee cup for a refill. "She just told us our food will be ready soon." She looked at Nick with an odd expression. "That's what I said. Your dinner will be right up." "Oh, Nick said, shaken. "Thank you, ma'am." She silently topped up Ed's coffee. As she walked away, Ed muttered, "What the fuck's the matter with you?" I thought she said something else. "Oh, and what the fuck, Ed asked. "Did you catch that? Our dinner? How about our lunch?" Nick rolled his shoulders and stared at his coffee. "Just let it go, will ya? What's going on with you? You're as nervous as a cat." Nick stared into the bottom of his coffee cup. "Didn't you notice Jeb McAllister walking in with his son and his 2 farmer friends?" "What? Oh yeah, really? Is that who they were? I did notice some guys walking in." And before Nick could stop him, Ed turned around in his seat and rested his left elbow on the seat divider and stared at Jeb Jr. and the third man, who'd been sitting in the back of the courtroom. He waited until they noticed him, and then he waved. He waved. "Hi, folks," Ed said. He turned back around to face Nick. "Oh, yeah. Okay, Nick, that's right. Jeb McAllister and his son and his friends are here." Nick put his head in his hands. "Dear Christ. They smell like they just walked out of the pig barn. Wow," Ed said, shaking his head. The men's shoulders stiffened. They can hear every word.